I want to welcome you one more time to sharing with my MindSpa. Gentle reminder, the MindSpa is a very special space. It's a space of sharing. Huh? The mind, the ultimate frontier, consciousness. You create your reality. Mind controls body. The spa, toxins are removed, insights, energy is given back. I want to talk today about media and development. It's a very powerful component in our lives, very powerful component. And one of the issues, that once the barriers for entry come down in any area, everyone can now access it. And we're seeing now the barrier for entry for media is greatly reduced because all of us are now technically broadcasters. Once you have access to a smartphone and the internet, you are a broadcaster. Now, the lower barrier for entry, it means that there are no rules. There were days gone by, people had to study, had to prepare, had to be really, really. I remember a broadcaster told me that he trained for about 3 months straight before, this is back in the 70s and 80s, before he was allowed to do a time signal. And what happened? The first chance he had to do a time signal, he opened the mic, but forgot to open his mouth. And there was just dead air. He had to get 3 more months of training. But now, anyone, it appears that anyone could actually be, a broadcaster, or so it seems. But then now, with the advent of social media, everyone is a broadcaster. No, I am broadcasting now. I'm using this opportunity to, as I say, my global media outreach. But what the problems we now face are incredible. Now, let me just share my screen here with you and look at the ideas a little bit closer, what we're talking about. Now, this thing we call culture, there's some pillars of culture. Why is my screen gyrating? And not sure what accounts for this. Well, let me just stop sharing the screen then, since it wants to gyrate. Culture is the four pillars of culture. Everything you know, everything that shapes your reality comes from one of four sources. Education, the educational institution that shaped you. Religion, the church you went to, the synagogue, whatever it is. The performing arts, the kind of stories you were told, and media. Those are the four pillars of culture. And any one of them can lift you or can destroy you. My realization now is that we have a little problem because when society, the media is largely dominated by susu, keke, ray, and the lowest common denominator, society begins to die. Our society is now being dominated by keke, ray, and susu. Do you realize the plethora of, just take YouTube channels, all these quote unquote broadcasters, they jump on any piece of information, then they give it their own spin and present it. I try my best to remind people, that look, a news report is not evidence. News report is not evidence. Evidence is something that is presented in a trial, and evidence is tested so that we have trial by media. And I'm concerned just the number of persons. Look, it's great Because when you have that many YouTube channels, the variety of information is there, but the quality is questionable. Now, some people say social media is a waste of time, but I see social media as a direct path for the universe to bring information to you that you did not even know existed, you were not even conscious of. It's almost the next level of our evolution. But we have to learn to use it or be used by it. I'm concerned that so many people are now living in echo chambers, that the kind of nonsense, for want of a better word, that they like, they find entertaining, they find attractive. And by the way, that's part of how conspiracy theories take hold in a society. We initially hear the information and we find it entertaining. Just like when you go to a movie, and you enjoy the movie, you end up liking the ideas of the movie. You like the stars associated with it. So much of what we are now calling conspiracy theory are things that we start getting and we start to enjoy it. Before you know it, it started shaping your consciousness. But we can look at social media from a positive standpoint. It allows you to access and influence the thoughts and feelings of your society. You can either be a driver and not just a cargo or passenger in society by you contributing via social media. So there's nothing we can do to rid it of the ray, the susu, and the keke, but if you can add your taste to it, add your perspective to it. If media is one of the things that shape culture, remember that culture is like a river. Culture is like a river. We have to be consciously aware of those who are downstream from us, so that some of us have to keep pulling some things out of the river, keeping the river clean as we can, because there are people who are drinking the water below us, other people who are bathing below us, other people are using the water below us for their personal consumption. So that we have to be consciously aware of what we're putting into the river of culture. But I am concerned. I am deeply concerned. Yes, there was a time when the barrier for entry was high, and then we were programmed by specific forces. But those forces are still in power, because much of what we are presenting and sharing with each other is ray, keke, susu, distorted information. So do your best, folks. Understand that whatever you consume metabolize you. Whatever you consume transforms you. So be careful of the information that you're putting into your mind. The kind of susu and keke. Get multiple sources. If something sounds too good to be true, chances are it's too good to be true. And I am deeply concerned that the development of society now is being, let's get on a devolution path as a result of media, as a result of the thoughts and the ideas, and many extents just the total garbage that we are being fed with. But you can use the same set of sources. You can use the same set of sources and you can choose to put something else into it. That's why I've created MindSpa, so that I can comment on these things and I can raise some of these issues with you, and I can share ways in which we can make our life even one little bit better than it was yesterday. Till we meet again, watch what you're watching and why. Mind your mind.